Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It's 4 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Today I want to talk about Republicans. Some of the old Republicans, some of the new Republicans, and how people seem to change once you take the politics out of them, once you take that poison out of some of these people. All right, George W. Bush. On my community page, I saw an interview with George W. Bush on CBS Live. It's on my community page. And I put a post on my community page saying, God help me, I'm starting to actually like George W. Bush. And I knew deep down that I was going to catch some hell for that. You know, I didn't forget George W. I didn't forget the idiocy, him and Quayle, and just the gross incompetence of George W. Bush. But this seemed, honestly, it's amazing. Because now that he seems to be free of the Republican Party, free of politics, he almost seems like a normal, rational person. I got to admit, though, guys, he's an artist. If you got to watch this video. He's painted dozens of paintings of actual immigrants that he's met, and he is advocating for immigration into America. Pretty much his ideas sound liberal, sound like something from the Democrats. They really do. It does not sound like the George W. Bush from years ago. If you watch that video, he almost seems like a normal guy. I think a lot of it has to do with it too, is that he's an artist and he's using his art for something I believe in too, immigration into the United States. And I can't help but like him when I watch him kid around. If you watch the video and you watch him kid around and stuff, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. Now, I didn't forget how right after 9/11, he attacked Iraq. I didn't forget the weapons of mass destruction, the completely made up bull about weapons of mass destruction and the whole nightmare that Iraq turned into. I didn't forget any of that. And the rest of his presidency. But it's weird. After you take these people out of politics, away from the Republican Party, they seem like almost rational people. Take John Boehner, for instance. Now, he's somebody, too, that, I know I'm giving him, when I see him, what comes to mind is the phrase, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You guys all have heard that. And I hear John Boehner and I hear George W. talk about put down Donald Trump, which is my main Trump and Trumpism, which is my main fear and concern these days. And that term comes to mind. That's why I'm giving these guys, I'm not giving them a pass, John Boehner and George W., but especially George W., he just does not seem like the same guy anymore. All right. On to the present day Trumplicans. I don't know what else to call them. Okay, so we all breathed a sigh of relief after Trump was defeated. Woo, that was a close one. But now it's starting to look like a whole different scary story where, like I said in another video, the younger generation of Trump worshipers have taken his playbook and are running with it, feeding into the fear and just the fear and racism of Trump's base, and just taking that and running with it. There's 2 or 3 things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the 14 red states. I honestly, off the top of my head, I can't remember all 14 of them. But 14, I'll put the links down below. 14 red states now have changed their legislation, their laws, that during elections, they can unseat their Secretary of State. Let's take, for instance, Georgia and Raffensperger. They all have Republican-led legislatures. And they can pretty much just take over the Secretary of State's job, the job of confirming the votes of recognizing them, confirming them that they're all valid, validating the votes. And the Republican-led legislature can pretty much just take it over and push the Secretary of State aside and throw out votes just on a whim. Basically, anytime in the future, somebody not from their party that wins, they could just take it over and throw out any votes they don't like. It's anti-democracy is what it is. I can't believe this is happening. And people talk about suppression of voting and a lot of this other stuff, like giving people water or food in line. And I've talked about this before. I think this is almost a distraction from the real danger. The main danger of this entire push is this legislation of Republican-led legislatures being in charge of validating the votes in all the counties, in their states, in all the districts. They can just go in, declare votes invalid, and throw them out. It gives them the right, the permission to just do away with any Democrat votes they deem suspicious or whatever. It's bizarre. It is the end of democracy. It is anti-democracy. All right, and then the bill in Florida. This is just another one that you see Trump supporters and Republicans, and they seem so concerned with money and time and possessions, and human life seems to mean so little, where they're making it not even a crime to run over, to hit protesters, peaceful protesters, with their vehicles. Now, the more I looked into this, they don't have to be threatened or anything. They can just be stopped, and peaceful protesters blocking the road. And it's now not even a crime. They can't be held accountable financially or criminally for running over, killing, maiming, whatever, peaceful protesters. Usually when you create laws, it's for the opposite. This is supposed to be the party of, they're supposed to value life, Republicans and all that. And what we have here is people that are late getting to Dunkin' Donuts before they're due into work. And they don't want to stop for 10 minutes, 15 minutes by these protesters. So now it's legal to just run these people over and kill them, maim them, put them in a coma, cripple them, paralyze them. There is a case where one protester was paralyzed recently. This is bizarre. Now I want to move on to Lauren Boebert, and all of the stuff I'm going to talk about now is on my community page. Lauren Boebert came out with a tweet, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, that denying Caucasian people the COVID-19 vaccine isn't woke, it's racist. The tweet is on my community page right now. Along with that tweet is the actual evidence, completely to the contrary, where the people that are refusing the vaccine are Caucasian, mainly Republican male Trump supporters. The same people that Lauren Boebert claims are being denied the vaccine are doing anything in their power to avoid it and get it out of their state and send it back. I see several states now where the vaccine isn't being used. It's going to go to waste, and they want to send it back or cut off any more coming to their state because nobody wants to take it. So this is Lauren Boebert's claim now. And it's feeding into all this. This is all just, it seems vindictive because their candidate lost in the presidential election. And it's just this vindictive legislation. And it has nothing to do with making America great again or making the country better or anything about the economy, about people's safety. It's pretty much the opposite. Doing away with democracy, making it possible for one party to go in and throw the other party's votes out in 14 states. And that's our new America. And we were all relieved. Woo, close one when Trump left office. And it is getting far worse because these Trumplicans are just taking his playbook, taking the ball and running with it, and just taking the sore loser mentality, the vindictiveness of losing this whole thing, and believing Trump's big lie, and moving forward with this anti-democratic legislation where they can throw out votes just because they didn't win. I mean, if that's not 1940s Germany, what is? And running over protesters because they're late to work, or they're late to get into Dunkin' Donuts. They want to get a cup of Joe before they get to work, and these people are in the way, so run them over, and it's legal. Not to mention all the anti-trans bills that are coming up in Alabama and all this other stuff. It's starting to look like Donald Trump, the days of Donald Trump were nothing compared to where these people are headed. All right, I'll be back later with another video. You guys have a good Sunday.